Mitochondria, quantum biolight, and the cosmic mystery of consciousness. Every living cell in your body contains tiny structures called mitochondria, often called the powerhouses of the cell because they generate the energy necessary for life. But recent research suggests these organelles do far more than power metabolism. They emit ultraweak light, known as biophotons. These faint flashes of light might hold the key to one of the greatest mysteries: consciousness itself. This video explores a bold and transformative hypothesis that consciousness arises from the quantum coherent biophotons emitted by mitochondria throughout the body, forming a distributed quantum light field that the brain integrates into unified awareness. We will also discuss the speculative idea that this biolight, when escaping the body, might transform into a novel quantum form akin to dark matter, the invisible substance making up most of the universe's mass. Mitochondria are specialized organelles found in almost every cell. Their primary role is to produce ATP, adenosine triphosphate, the molecule cells use for energy. This process, known as cellular respiration, involves a complex series of chemical reactions inside the mitochondrial membranes called the electron transport chain, or ETC. During metabolism, mitochondria generate reactive oxygen species, also known as ROS, as byproducts. These molecules, while often harmful in excess, also act as signals. Importantly, mitochondrial metabolic activity produces ultra-weak light emissions called biophotons, spanning ultraviolet to visible wavelengths. Unlike sunlight or artificial light, biophoton emission is incredibly faint. So weak it requires sensitive photodetectors to measure. This light is not random thermal radiation, but exhibits patterns of intensity and coherence linked to cellular metabolic states. Quantum coherence means that particles such as photons or electrons share a unified wave-like state, enabling phenomena like interference and entanglement, where particles become linked and influence each other instantly regardless of distance. Recent experiments have demonstrated that mitochondrial biophotons maintain coherence for nanoseconds to microseconds far longer than previously thought possible in warm biological systems. They exhibit non-classical photon statistics indicating underlying quantum states rather than classical random emissions. These biophotons can propagate coherently across cells, suggesting a mechanism for rapid, long-range intracellular and intercellular communication. Quantum biology has gained empirical support through examples like photosynthetic complexes in plants that use quantum coherence to transfer energy efficiently. Bird navigation systems rely on spin-dependent radical pairs entangled at the quantum level. Enzymatic reactions involve quantum tunneling to accelerate metabolic rates. Mitochondria's biophotons add a new dimension, suggesting that quantum photonic fields exist inside cells and tissues. Neuroscience has mapped billions of neurons and trillions of synapses, yet the subjective experience, the qualia, remains unexplained. The hard problem asks, how do physical brain processes create the experience of awareness? Classical electrical and chemical models of brain activity, while effective for understanding behavior and cognition, cannot fully explain why or how consciousness emerges. The hypothesis proposes that consciousness emerges from a distributed quantum biophotonic field generated by mitochondria throughout the entire body. This quantum field is composed of coherent biophoton emissions, encoding the physiological and metabolic state of every cell. Neurons contain microtubules, hollow tubular protein structures hypothesized to act as quantum optical waveguides or resonators. These microtubules may amplify, channel, and modulate the mitochondrial biophotons, allowing the brain to access, process, and integrate this quantum information into a unified conscious experience. Unlike traditional models that localize consciousness solely in the brain, this hypothesis sees consciousness as an organism-wide quantum field. This holistic view suggests that every living cell contributes to the conscious state via mitochondrial biolight, forming a holographic-like field where information is distributed and accessible. Imagine a vast network of tiny quantum lights flickering throughout your body, like countless stars forming constellations. These lights convey complex information faster and more efficiently than classical biochemical signals, weaving the fabric of your conscious experience. Dark matter is an invisible form of matter that exerts gravitational influence, comprising about 27% of the universe's mass energy. It does not interact with electromagnetic radiation and remains undetected by conventional instruments. Biophotons escaping biological systems might undergo a quantum transition into a non-interacting quantum state, effectively becoming a form of dark matter. This could involve coupling with akin-like particles, which are hypothetical dark matter candidates, entering a quantum vacuum mode that suppresses electromagnetic interaction, or a form of biological quantum information embedding into cosmic quantum fields. If life's quantum biolight interacts with or contributes to dark matter, this would revolutionize physics and biology. It suggests that consciousness is not only a biological phenomenon, but also cosmologically significant, linking life to the universe's fundamental structure. Technological advances enable measuring biophoton coherence, photon statistics, and spatial propagation. However, in vivo detection remains difficult due to the ultra-weak signal and interference from biological noise. Ongoing research focuses on using quantum optical setups adapted for biological tissues, investigating spin-correlated radical pairs and their role in photon entanglement, and employing photobiomodulation to manipulate mitochondrial states and observe corresponding changes in biophoton emission and cognitive function. Testing the link between biophotons and dark matter requires interdisciplinary efforts, combining biology, quantum physics, and astrophysics. This includes searching for, anomalous photon-like signals or quantum states near biological systems. Many neurological disorders feature mitochondrial dysfunction, which may impair the quantum biolight network underlying consciousness. Photobiomodulation therapies using specific wavelengths of light to stimulate mitochondria show promise for enhancing cognitive functions and treating brain disorders. Understanding consciousness as a quantum biological phenomenon opens new diagnostic and therapeutic possibilities. The principles underlying mitochondrial quantum coherence might inspire novel quantum information technologies or bio-inspired quantum computing models. Challenges materialist views that reduce consciousness to neural firing patterns. Suggests consciousness is a fundamental property of life's quantum processes, raises questions about free will, the nature of self, and consciousness as a universal quantum field possibly extending beyond Earth. The mitochondrial biolight hypothesis reframes consciousness as an organism-wide quantum phenomenon rooted in the quantum coherent biophotons emitted by mitochondria. This distributed quantum field integrates with the brain's neuronal network to create subjective awareness. The speculative idea that escaped biophotons may transition into a form of dark matter connects life's quantum processes with the cosmos, hinting at a profound unity between consciousness and the universe's fundamental fabric. Though much remains to be discovered and experimentally validated, this hypothesis opens exciting pathways for future research at the intersection of biology, quantum physics, neuroscience, and cosmology. The journey to understand consciousness may illuminate not just our minds but the entire universe.